Thursday, August 13th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. I'm your host for today, Jason Cooper, alongside my producer for the next hour and a bit, Jaleel Shakir, working his way behind the boards. And we got a great show for you today. Can't wait to break everything down. We got Judah coming on, talking some tales for this NFL season. We're looking towards some futures. Going to take a look specifically at the NFC and see what we can uncover in terms of future odds and some fat tail outcomes that we can take advantage of, because there's one thing that Judah loves. It's his tails. Judah loves his tail outcomes. After that, we got So Money coming on for CFL Week 11 best bets. And I am implementing this before So Money even gets on air. No more Red Blacks. We are banning every single bet that is now placed on the Red Blacks from here on out until we deem them as bettable again. They are officially unbettable. I believe this is 4 weeks in a row we've taken the Red Blacks at plus 7.5, plus 6.5 or greater, and they just get destroyed every single week. Me and So Money got to sit down. We got to get in the lab and talk a little bit about this Red Blacks team, because they are officially in the hashtag unbettable area of the CFL. Football's back. Let's dive into things. All right. Do us a favor before we get into the show. Smash the like button. Goes a long way here on the channel. If you're new to the channel as well, hit that subscribe button. Before we bring on Judah, I wanted to talk a little bit about something that is making waves around the National Football League and the college football scene. Jane Daniels sends a cease and desist letter to LSU because a player is wearing his former jersey number. First of all, if you're sending cease and desist letters for the most mundane, dumbest things on earth, I absolutely hate everything about you. To take it one step further, he says he wants to be treated like Joe Burrow's treated. I'm sorry. You're not Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow broke the SEC record for having the most passing yards in a single season with 5,671 yards. You know how many passing yards Jaden Daniels had when he won the Heisman? 3,800. Joe Burrow threw for 60 touchdowns. You know how many touchdowns Jaden Daniels had? 40. That's pretty good. 40's great. 60's a lot better. You know what else Joe Burrow did? He won a damn natty. You didn't. So why are you out here saying you're getting disrespected for someone wearing your jersey? Also, who cares about who wears your jersey? There's 99 numbers. Who the hell cares? Why are we even retiring jerseys in the first place? There's 3 jerseys in sports history that should actually be retired. And if someone says Bo Jackson in the chat, I'm going to be pissed. There's Jackie Robinson, Wayne Gretzky, and that's all I can think of, honestly. True greats. I'm sorry. I've had enough of Jay Daniels. Get him out of here. Cease and desist. You know what you do with that? You go put that in the bathroom stall, and you make good use out of that cease and desist letter. Anyways, let's get into today's show. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I just think that it is just so disrespectful to what Joe Burrow did, to what LSU did for you. And then also, oh my gosh, I'm going to get into people had the audacity to say Caleb Williams had character issues. You shouldn't have gone first overall. You got Jane Daniels over here with the real character issues. It's just insane. I would not want that guy as my quarterback. I'll tell you that for free. I saw a clip resurface of them playing the Commanders playing the Eagles 2 years ago in the playoffs, where they down 17, down 24 points. They score. Jaden Daniels rushes in a touchdown, starts doing a dance. Brother, you're down 3 scores over halfway through the third quarter. What are you dancing? What are you dancing for? It's the playoffs. Got to win damn games. Anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in. Do us a favor, smash the like button. It goes a long way here on the channel. If you're new to the channel as well, hit that subscribe button. All right. We're going to bring on Judah in just a second. Before we do that, just want to give you a quick shout out to our friends over at FanDuel. Tonight, FanDuel is making baseball's most iconic game even more rewarding with the Go Yard Challenge. As the Phillies take on the Twins in the Field of Dreams game, bet your 30% profit boost and cheer for every single home run. If there's 1 home run, you'll unlock a future 25% profit boost. If 3 leave the yard, you'll get a 50% profit boost. And if this game delivers 4 home runs, you'll get a score of you'll get 100% profit boost. Excuse me. From the first pitch to the final swing, every home run could mean an even bigger reward. Don't just watch the Field of Dreams games. Take on the Go Yard Challenge. Only on FanDuel. Your home for home runs. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is not withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration, max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/China, Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 1-877-770-7867 in Louisiana. All right. Let me just see quickly if I can pull anything for this game. Ooh. We kind of like the under in this game, but we don't want to bet that. That's kind of boring. I'll find something for you guys a little bit later on in the show, maybe at the in between. I'll find something in between Judah and So Money. All right. Let's bring on our first guest here. You know him from the Forward Progress YouTube channel. You also know him on Twitter at Throw the Damn Ball. Go check out his Substack. He's got the link in his bio. I don't know if it's a Substack. I don't know exactly what it is. Median. One of those two. Judah Fortgang. Judah, it's a pleasure to have you on. Long time no see. How you been?
There are a few things better than talking ball with Jay Cooper.
I honestly think you're the only person to ever say that, and I appreciate that so much. For those of you who don't know, me and Judah are tight. We're buddies. Judah once came to Toronto to watch a Leafs playoff game. It was the Leafs versus the Panthers. It was Game 5 2 years ago, and the Leafs got blown out. 7-1? 6? Something like that. There was we were one of 1,000 people left in the stands at the end of the game.
It was the end of an era. You know, you felt it. And that was it was quite the first Toronto sports experience. But the bond runs deep. The
bond runs deep, and I cannot wait to break down some football with you today because there's nothing I love more than talking ball with you. So let's start with one thing that I really appreciate that you do is you always like to, I don't want to say make up stats because that is the wrong connotation, but you sort of come up with new stats, give it creative names it was like a havoc stat that you had. There was one that's disaster plays, which I really like. Tell me about the new stats that you've been iterating this offseason.
Yeah, this is why I love, talking with you is you take the same stat and just use synonyms for each other. It's just one, and also get the name wrong both times.
Oh my bad.
It's just destroy rate.
Okay, destroy. There we go.
Oh, havoc rate might be disruption rate. Okay,
yes.
You're right. You got to go through the translation function. With every new season comes new data sources too. There are always kind of new stats to create. Gonna have to wait a tiny bit to debut some of those, but I think always looking at how we can decompose play. Football is a beautifully complex game. We kind of don't really understand how it all works, and getting to a lot of kind of the core components and trying to isolate these things. It's kind of the name of the game and where we can try and find some value in an obviously very sharp marketplace.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why you look towards the tail ends of outcomes, and that leads us into the first thing I want to talk about here. We're going to focus mainly on the NFC. You're looking at the Rams at plus 500 to win the Super Bowl. Their win totals at like around 11.5, probably closer to a 12 based on like what the market is saying. Same thing with the Seahawks. Seahawks just won everything, 11-1 to win the Super Bowl. Win totals at like 10.5. But you're seeing last year's season for them as a upper echelon of their like good tail. You think this year might be leaning towards maybe closer to the median or closer towards their bad tail?
Yeah, I think it's kind of looking at like it's important to establish the framework, right? It's like if you told me that the Rams were a 7.5 win team, which obviously no one's doing, it'll be like, yeah, that's the best bet in the world, right? But like we're already starting from an expectation of like the Rams are projected to be one of the very, very best in the NFL. That's like one frame to keep in mind. The other frame to keep in mind is like football is like constantly random, right? Like things change all the time. The teams that we thought would be amazing, the Chiefs last year, like they're going to finish well above the, outside the playoff picture. Number one, because like injuries happen, and number two, because variance happens. And that's kind of the name of the game. But while that is all true, there are certain cases where, it is more or less likely because it is still probabilistically true. And like we have a pretty good sense of how good Matthew Stafford is. He's been playing in the league for a very long time. We have a pretty good sense of how good a coordinator Sean McVay is. He's been in the league for a very long time. The two have also been together for a very long time. we have a decent sense of what this offense can be. And what's very interesting is if you look at kind of like their 2021 year where they won the Super Bowl, right? The offense looked very much like 2025, but then there was 2022 and 2023 and 2024. And yes, of course, there are obviously differences from the personnel groupings, but in the kind of player skill level, if we like simulated the season, 10,000 times last year of what could have happened, I think they probably ran somewhere in like the 90th to 95th percentile good. Mm-hmm. And equally as likely was the kind of 2023, 2024 version, which was a good team, a playoff team, one that even could win the Super Bowl, but is not the like dominant expectation median, 12-win team. And like we have a pretty good sample of what this team can be. I don't think like something magically changed. There was a lot of positive variance. There were areas of Stafford's game in particular that took a huge step forward. Right, like I don't think their screen efficiency generated like 0.23 EPA per play, whereas like he's never had a positive career. Like that's a couple big plays which broke your way, and that's kind of the sample and the what a couple of plays and the randomness that could turn an NFL season. So all that is to say, we're looking at a Rams team. They're going to be good. The defense is a wagon. No one's denying that. But like we're dealing with a 39-year-old quarterback with chronic back pain, a wide receiver who maybe now might be suspended, but even still has like kind of remained shockingly healthy for a guy whose play style is to just like throw his body into contested catches and take a ton of hits. Also, I feel like Puka Nacua leads the league in like game exits and return.
No. I will say there's one player with more Woody Marks, but anyways, keep going.
Woody Marks.
He left every single game last year.
Every game. But if there was a wide receiver,
yes.
And it's just like, look, is Stafford is McVay gonna elevate this team? Yes. Is the depth horrible? Yes. Where like there are a lot of question marks, and if the expectation is a 12-win team, a lot can go wrong for them to even finish as a good team that wins 9-10 games. And like, if Stafford's back acts up, which is not that unlikely, they're gonna have some problems.
Yeah, as someone who has some back problems as well, like it just takes one weird.
Yes, Jason, your back problems are very much the same as Matthew Stafford.
Yes, yeah. the whole team is riding on me, but So the Rams outcomes, the reason why you're sort of fearing them is like again plus 500 for them to win the Super Bowl. Do they win 16% of the time if you were to sim this year out? Like whatever, a million times? Like no, probably not. So I like the fade there on the Rams. Plus, like I feel like there's going to be an instance in the season if you do like the Rams, you'll probably get better than plus 500. Like, or the number's just going to hold for quite a while, and you can get some more information on that. You didn't really mention the Seahawks. What's your fate of the Seahawks? Is it more so just OC out the door, like the straw that stirred the drink in Seattle is kind of out? Their defense obviously still has that high floor with McDonald, but is it just the straw that stirs the offensive drink is just gone now?
Yeah, I think it's like, look, again, we're anchored to a team that won the Super Bowl. It's kind of random that they won the Super Bowl, right? Like, what happens if Zach Charbonnet doesn't pick up the ball, the two-point conversion, right? Like, this is just the sort of thing. That isn't to say that the fundamentals aren't great, right? This is a defense that I expect to still be a wagon. But when I look at, like, the fragility of the Seahawks, the system matters in that, like, Sam Darnold definitely outproduced kind of a lot of his underlying metrics, especially when we look to things like structure and scheme. But even more so than that, Sam Darnold was having a historic run the first half of the season where his deep EPA was 1.5 per play. That would have been best in the NFL. It would have been the best, at least in my data set. It's obviously not sustainable no matter the quarterback. It came crashing down to earth in the second half of the season. And Sam Darnold also on the non-deep throws was having his best year. But like we have a really large sample of who Sam Darnold is. He's never had a season like this before. And in the second half, we saw everything come crashing down. The Seahawks offense wasn't that good the second half. Did it matter? No, because the defense was such a wagon. But it's very hard to bet on, number one, a quarterback who definitely outperformed a lot of his underlying numbers. On paper, like still, it pains me to say this with Rashid Shaheed as the number 2 receiver. It is still not the deepest of units. It's not a great offensive line. Sam Darnold's pretty sensitive to it. I think if the defense even goes from best in the NFL to third best in the NFL, fourth best in the NFL, a lot of these situations are going to compound Darnold's problems. Look, it's just like Darnold had a great first half last year. The Seahawks rode that, and then they rode the defense the second half of the way. these are both very fragile things to bank on going forward, especially in a division as tough as the NFC West.
Yeah, no, that's a great point there. Plus, do we know who Brian Fleury is, what he's going to be? I just take a look at like a guy's coaching history, and I'm like, I don't know if this guy can do it. I don't know if he's got the chops to do it, and if he does have the chops to be like a good offensive coordinator, a good play caller in the NFL, he probably would have gotten a call way sooner. He was like offensive assistant for like and played a linebackers coach, quarterback coach for like many years, and that just kind of screams like a slight red flag to me. But again, this is all just a guessing game here. If he'll end up being that good, let's stick within this division because a lot of people are talking about the Arizona Cardinals as being like one of the worst teams in the league, and I don't think that's that far of a stretch to say. But you are kind of going against that sentiment of the Cardinals being really bad.
I think it's an insane thing to say. I mean, like, in the market maybe will humble me. It's like they're at like 27% to be the most likely with the worst
Plus
record.
240, yeah.
Those are very different things. And like the Dolphins are kind of next up. And like you look at the rosters, there's a world of a difference between these two teams. I think the case for the Cardinals is like, we know who Jacoby Brissett is. If I am starting a franchise, I most certainly do not want Jacoby Brissett as my starting quarterback. But like all he's done in the last like 5 years on 5 different teams, which of course there's a ton of signal in the fact that he's been on 5 teams now he'll have a repeat season for the first time in a while, but he's produced at like somewhere between a like 30th to 50th percentile quarterback. Like he is not a bottom percentile quarterback, and we should have decent certainty that he's not going to be a bottom percentile quarterback because he's never been a bottom percentile quarterback. You kind of upgrade. It's hard to get worse than Drew Petzing at coordinator. Like, will LaFleur be able to capture the McVay magic? No idea. But there's at least some upside. And they like upgraded tremendously at offensive line. Like Jeremiah Love is going to be an upgrade in the run game. They have terrific weapons. All of Marvin Harrison, despite what you'll see on social media and the training camp videos, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, Michael Wilson, all well above average in their separation, well above average on their yards per route run. They have weapons, and this was a defense that Jason, I think you could have started at corner for them given the injuries they had most of the season. It was an absolute disaster of a unit. But like even from a production standpoint, this was not like 32nd level bad. It was 27th level bad. But like there's plenty of talent on the defense. These are guys that in non-injured years were terrific. They have plenty of 2 edges that are in the top of the top of the league. There are plenty of pieces. This is just to me like, yes, they play in a tough division, but there is way too much talent, and Jacoby Brissett is like not going to be the worst quarterback in the NFL or close to it. That I think given where the market's pricing him, I like the Cardinals. Don't
even sleep on Carson Beck. Like he had one good preseason game, looked pretty decent. Like looked like he had a pulse. Like and like you said, these weapons, they're like.
To quote Lucille Bluth from Arrested Development, I won't hear it and I won't respond to it.
All right, fair enough. But Trey McBride, like Marvin Harrison Jr., I know he hasn't like blossomed into the receiver that people expect him to be with like the 4th overall pick or wherever he was drafted. Michael Wilson, like there's weapons here. There's absolutely weapons here. Jeremiah Love, even like Tyler Algier keeps your floor at running back. There's weapons for this offense to be good, and I will say like LaFleur made Mike White relevant. Like Mike White was winning games for the New York Jets. Who the hell is Mike White? I'm not talking about the survivor player. He was a quarterback in the NFL for some time. But if he could do that, I think he can make some magic with this Cardinals offense. So Cardinals plus 240. I feel like that's not a good bet. Would you target them in like their win totals? Like what? I would
do the win totals, and I'd bet the no markets on them to finish with the worst record in the NFL.
Fair. All right, let's talk about a team that could finish with the worst record in the NFL. And I've sort of circled this team where I feel like their floor, it really is the basement. Things could fall out really, really fast for them. And it's the Atlanta Falcons. Their offseason hasn't gone very well. They're essentially probably going to lose. Well, they lost one edge rusher for sure. We don't know how long the other one is going to get suspended or how long he's going to be out for. But it really feels like the floor can just fall underneath them with how fragile their quarterback room is. Do you like the Falcons as a team that could have a tail towards the downside as a team, maybe to have the worst record in the league at 14-1?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the hard part is like, the division is bad, but also like if your team is bad, it doesn't matter how bad your opponents are. If you're worse than them, you're gonna lose games. The only thing that kind of holds me off that is like, I do think Kevin Stefanski.
Yes.
I think he's in like the above average kind of overall, but like definitely can orchestrate a run game. and has been one of the best. And like they are still very well situated. I think Bijan Robinson's one of the best running backs in the NFL, whatever metric you want to look at. And like Chris Lidstrom at right guard has been the best run blocking guard every single year of the last 4 years. They've got like Ryan Nuzzle, who's also top 5 at center. Like the interior is great. They should be able to be very, very relevant and like hide their quarterback effectively. And I think that matters twofold. Number one, like they should be able to stay ahead of the chains very often. If they get into a negative game script, it's not a great scenario. I don't even know who's playing quarterback for them at this point.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you also just like from a season-long perspective, you're going to shorten the variance, right? Like if I had 150 plays to express the skill, right, that's a lot more time for the better team to win. If the Falcons are just going to run the ball a lot and kind of condense the number of plays, there's a lot more kind of game-to-game variance that can occur. But yeah, look, it's just like a disaster of a quarterback situation. Outside of Drake London and Kyle Pitts, there's really nothing at receiver. And then the defense, the secondary has a lot of big names, guys that are pretty old. AJ Terrell hasn't really been good in the last bunch of years. Jesse Bates has really struggled last season. They generated a ton from their blitzes. And like you said, there's really no one rushing the passer right now, especially if, James Pierce has to take a hefty suspension. They were one of the worst, and I think they were second worst in 4-man pressure rate. That number's only going to get worse. It's hard to get worse, but the projection for that is only going to get worse given the edge situation.
Absolutely, it's insane to think about what they did last year. Obviously, like at the time, people were very critical of it, and rightfully so. But like I thought, okay, you know what? Like this is like one of the worst pass rushing teams 2 years ago in the NFL. Screw it. Take a swing on some pass rushers and hope for the best. And then one tears the ACL. Two years down the road, one tears the ACL. The other one gets suspended because he's like bad character stuff. I will say, though, they have a tough stretch after week 4. They play Baltimore, Chicago, San Fran, Cincinnati, and KC before their week 11 bye. So things are not looking really easy early on for the schedule for this Falcons team. All right, we talked about teams you were down on. Let's go back to a team that you're high on. The Giants, which I absolutely love that you like the Giants and you're high on the Giants. I think Jackson Dart is like just an electric factory. I just think everything around this team is fun. Talk me through what you like with the Giants, what you're seeing, where their like fat tail comes from.
Yeah, very quickly, I think it's number one, Jackson Dart in the areas that are most kind of stable on a quarterback lens, which is like your ability to create and extend the play. He was one of the best in the NFL. I think that should continue year over year, maybe not the same magnitude, but the direction. I think he'll still be one of the best creators and one of the best players out of structure. In structure, it really struggled. I wish Matt Nagy was not the offensive play caller here, but adding Malik Neighbors, I think is a massive addition. In addition, and also just quarterbacks tend to get better, in particular in this area, in kind of the end structure and certainly in their decision making, in particular. Where if Dart kind of takes a step, this offense I think should be a lot better, and like cannot emphasize enough, like having Malik Neighbors at wide receiver and not producing with Wan'Dale Robinson as your number one, I think will go a very, very long way. And then on the defensive side, I think Abdul Carter has all the makings of the next dominant pass rush. I think a sneaky candidate for defensive player of the year. This is a guy that over the second half of last season, and I'm much more willing to believe that sample than TJ Watt's second half of last year, or just any random player who's been in the league for a while. He was like a 99th percentile player. And then this is a defense last year that you look at the splits. Shane Bowen, yes. Shane Bowen, no. Was terrific.
Oh, we lost Judah there. We'll get him back in just a second here. Defensive player of the year. He mentioned there, and I'll try and find that number for you guys quickly. Abdul Carter is 40-1. Defensive player of the year. I'll have to get his opinion on some other long shots that maybe we like. Maybe ask him about his Parker Washington 400-1. Maybe if he likes that. I also see you guys in the chat mentioning Rams to win, to miss the playoffs at around plus 355. You said 22%. You can get them at FanDuel at plus 410. We'll ask Judah about that in just a second. Let's bring him back on here. Judah, you were talking about the Giants.
Yeah, I was saying defensively, Abdul Carter, all the makings of a dominant rusher. And this is a defense, pre and post Shane Bowen, that was a completely different beast. I tracked something called disruption rate, which we alluded to, which is plays in which pressure arrives to kind of knock a quarterback off his read, and plays in which everyone on their in coverage does their job and doesn't make a mistake because coverage is a weak link system. They were top 5 in that category. Post Shin Bowen being fired. There's a ton of talent on this defense. I think this has a lot of upside if the defense kind of continues on this trajectory, especially if Abdul Carter can kind of cement himself as a dominant edge, and then lots of reason for optimism in Jackson Dart's development and growth.
Absolutely. And plus Malik Neighbors getting that much healthier. Seems like he'll be ready to start the year. It's like a huge up signal. For me. I think like the sentiment around the Jets would be completely different if Malik Neighbors had like a completely healthy offseason, because he is truly like one of the few receivers in the league who can be a game breaker. So yeah, love the Giants here. Tough schedule, but love this team. They're going to be fun. They're an electric factory. Let's take them all the way up, Judah. Or win total over. Plus 260 to make the playoffs, plus 550 to win the division, 40-1 to be first in the NFC. Whatever you want. Let's throw it at the wall. John Harbaugh keeps it. No, not that. Not too far.
Why not?
Oh,
Why don't you just go to the Super Bowl? Undefeated season.
There we go. I love it. I will say with John Harbaugh teams, with all Harbaugh teams, they are always good at like keeping their top button done up, like very ready to go, which we haven't really seen in the New York Giants team in quite a while. You mentioned a Defensive Player of the Year shout in Abdul Carter right now, 40-1 at FanDuel. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Rams to miss the playoffs quickly in the chat. Someone mentioned at around 22%. You can get it. You can get 19% at FanDuel at plus 410. But like, do you like Rams to miss the playoffs at plus 410? Is that something you're looking towards a lower end?
Yeah, that is how I would express kind of a bearish Rams take.
I love it. All right. Okay. Abdul Carter, Defensive Player of the Year, 40-1. There's been some great shouts on some fat tails towards the upside for some Offensive Player of the Year that you'd probably love to hear. Parker Washington, 400-1. We've clicked that in this chat. Offensive Player of the Year. Any awards you're looking at, and how do you sort of attack awards when you look at attack awards through tails? Like, how do you? What's the process like for that?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Let's take a milestone award, right? Like the Packers are in a really interesting case, like their wide receivers, where this was a team almost defined by the number of players that they had. Not a very condensed, target share, but it's like, what happens if like, this year is very different, where it's like they have fewer weapons. What if like one of these guys emerges? And I think someone will, right? It's like, I think one of Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Matthew Golden are going to have good years. And like the targets are going to condense. And it's like, well, I want to look at like when Matthew Golden was on the field, he was very, very productive. Like a lot of his underlying numbers are terrific. His separation is one of the best in the league. He's got like an extremely deep route tree. Things of that variety where it's like, okay, do I see a path towards like the targets being there? Do I see a path towards the efficiency being there? And like what actually needs to happen to get that like large percent of outcome? Whereas like, I don't know, Wan'Dale Robinson, like hit on absolute 99th percentile ceiling last year, but like the targets aren't going there. There's no real room for certainty. And even if he does, the targets are less valuable. Where it's just kind of build the case of like, if everything goes right, because there's a lot of change, because players develop, what can go right. Matthew Golden's, I think, a good example. I think he's great in the milestone markets. I don't think he's being Offensive Player of the Year, but there's a guy who like, price considered, wouldn't be shocking for him to have like 1,000 yards to me. And things of that variety, especially because the role can cement. But yeah, I mean, Malik Neighbors is one of those guys.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Like I saw him Offensive Player of the Year is like 40-1 ish as well.
Yeah, I think you can do even a little better. But it's there.
Yeah.
Lad McConkey.
Okay? Interesting, because I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, you're high on Lad McConkey in terms of Offensive Player of the Year, or like to get 1,000 yards. Like where do you see that tail outcome for Lad McConkey? Is like
it's mostly. I mean, not 1,000 yards. It would be probably more than that. Where it's just like. He was not able to run the deep routes. He was so successful on last year because they had no protection. And like a lot of that pricing is being baked in. Where it's like, what happens when his target, the offensive line's healthy. What happens if his target share rises and he's getting these extremely valuable targets attached to a really good offense?
You know what? I love that angle. I love that. Feed me more.
I didn't know we were clamoring for.
I want like, but 100-1 Offensive Player of the Year. I just want to I like big numbers that are probably going to lose, but like have a good chance to like come week 17, they're not going to be 100-1. They're going to be like
Listen, I
30-1.
hate to do this to you. I hate to do this to you because it's going to gas you up. But I like Luther Burden too.
Okay. All right. Offensive player of the year. Could I?
Yeah, I mean the injury stuff to me is good. Right.
Okay.
I want to see now some. I mean, it's a concern, of course. But like, if we get some prices moving, like I'm fine with that. I think this is a guy that's going to be the centerpiece of the offense, and the Bears want to throw.
Yeah.
The Bears want to put up a lot of points, as Ben Johnson was telling us.
Oh yeah.
And Luther Burden to me is the number one guy there. Also, dark horse Colson Loveland might do some funky stuff at the tight end position.
I'm in love with this Bears team, obviously, but like truly, like the upside is really there. And I think I mentioned this before on the show, and we talked about it in the chat. Like, is it crazy? Like Caleb Williams won 25-1 offensive player of the year. Can he have a good enough season where this offense is insane, but maybe their defense doesn't hold up enough, where they're not among the top teams in the NFC, and like maybe they make it as a wild card team, and that feels like people say that Caleb Williams maybe doesn't deserve MVP, but he's had such a great season he can win offensive player of the year, which is so rare to see from a quarterback.
It's possible. I got one last one for you though.
Go for it.
I don't think this is offensive player of the year category.
Okay.
But I do wonder what the odds are because I haven't even checked. That is my boy A.D. Mitchell.
Adonai Mitchell. Okay. What? Just
he's not winning offensive player of the year, but I think this is a guy. If we're looking in the milestone market, I mean, has been the darling. He is the Rashid Shaheed of. Oh man, I'm blank on of. The guy in the Saints, Deontay Hardy.
Oh,
Deontay Hardy. No, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, just a deep vertical runner.
Okay, sorry.
Did a great job of using the safeties to occupy space.
Yeah.
But A.D. Mitchell, like dominant separation numbers, dominant targets per route run. I think Geno Smith probably ran pretty bad last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably somewhere in between where he was in Seattle and last season. He's really reliant on protection. The Jets have, I think, 2 studs at tackles. I think this is a team that there's a path for Mitchell to, get on the field, get to like when he's been on, he's commanding targets at like a 25 to 30% clip. This is a dude that might explode. He's got all the talent in the world. I will never, ever, ever forgive him for what he did against the Rams last season. But the Colts traded him on tilt, and I think they want him back right now.
was that the dropping him before?
Yeah, he just like flipped the ball the trying to celebrate the number of A.D. Mitchell SGPs and just like general Colts stuff on that game. It's tough.
All right. One thing I wanted to ask you before you head out. You give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. I think last year I sent you a Luther Burden SGP that I pre-built. Before like a month outside of the season. I'm going to pre-build one, and we're going to start the bones right here. It's just going to be surrounding one player, Brian Thomas Jr. We're going to take the inverse correlation on him, under receptions, over yards. Is that a thumbs up, thumbs down for you? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah, I think it's generally a good play.
Yeah, because I saw
too much like the Parker Washington. I love Parker Washington.
Yes.
A lot of mouths to feed. I think the Jaguars are going to be sneaky heavy pass offense. But that would be my only concern. But yeah, that's his role. He's going to take those deep shots. Yeah, I saw recently on Twitter he's going to be the X. They're going to look to give him more deep shots. So let's have a little bit of fun on week 1. Judah, any final thoughts before you head out here? No, we're so close to football season.
I
can't wait.
You can literally taste it. This time in a month, we'll have one game played already, if you can believe that.
We got preseason games even. We're back.
Oh, we're so back.
When I get to hear Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth for the first time, I'm like, we're back. We're
so back. All right, Judah. Appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat soon.
Yep.
Great stuff there from Judah. As always, go follow him on Twitter at @ThrowTheDamnBall. Link is in the chat. Also, go sign up for his newsletter. He does great stuff there, breaking down tail outcomes every single week. What do I remember? I have a fond memory of, why can I not remember? Was it Friarmouth? Just a Friarmouth tail game. That was a lot of fun. Like an 80-1, 100-1 SGP. Judah's really good with that stuff. Judah's fun. Judah's way of breaking down and analyzing the game is a ton of fun as well. So if you just like good content, Judah is one of the good guys in the industry. Also, Fezzik hates the both of us. So like that's like I feel like a good signal of like, you should be listening to these guys. Anyways, appreciate you guys tuning into the show. I did say I would get you guys a bet for this Twins Phillies game. We're going to go with Brian Buxton, home run, plus 280. Byron Buxton, home run, plus 280. That's what we're going to get there. Yeah. Maybe So Money has So Money with a fresh cut in the background. My God. Maybe So Money has a baseball bet for us. If not, we're going to go with Byron Buxton. And quickly, I know you guys love talking about Amber. Listen, I people don't like me. That's their opinion. They're allowed to not like me. But I feel like if you don't like me and Judah, then you're the problem. That's what I have to say. Anyways, I know we just talked about football, and I know that you guys in the chat absolutely love football. Well, Forward Progress heard what you guys wanted, and they have brought back the Hammer Draft Series. It kicks off today with the Super Bowl draft. 3 Hammer creators drafting 3 different teams, snake draft style, putting their own money on the line. That drops today, 3 p.m. Eastern time on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. Go check it out. 3 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Let's bring on our next guest here to talk some CFL action with a beautiful haircut, looking absolutely incredible. Tortured Canucks fan. And what's the word I can use? I believe the Ottawa Red Blacks have Stockholm syndrome from just betting on the Red Blacks every single week. So Money, how's it going?
I'm good, Jason. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. First of all, haircut looks great. You're looking sharp, ready to go. Second of all, we have to have an intervention here. The Red Blacks are banned. You are not allowed to mention them on this show anymore. No more Red Blacks bet. You can say, I would bet this if they weren't banned, but that's about it.
But they're getting 7.5 though.
Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Okay. We'll get into it in just a second. Quickly, last week, Argos come up big for us, despite having 5 turnovers, winning the game by a field goal. They tried their best to lose that game. They come up, win for us. Red Blacks get blown out once again as we take the 7.5. 1-1 last week from the CFL Oracle. You want to just dive into this week? You want to start with the Red Blacks? How do you want to start here?
Yeah, let's go in chronological order here.
Okay.
So we got the Lions Stamps game tonight.
Yep.
I have a couple of bets there actually.
Okay.
Firstly, I did bet the BC Lions. They're at +4 right now, which I think is fine. So +4 is fine there. Couple of things. We talked about the BC Lions a few weeks ago, just before Rourke got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He's back now, and I think that this team is going to start going on a run here. I do like Calgary quite a bit. I've mentioned that before, but I think that this line right now is built on kind of full season without taking the injuries that the Lions have had to put up with into account. So with that team getting healthy now, and the way that I think that they're going to be playing going forward, this is one of those numbers where we're not going to see in a couple of weeks if these two teams were to play again. So at +4, I did bet the Lions. The other bet I have in this game, which I'm not crazy about, but I need to bet it, and that's the under.
Yeah, I knew it.
The under 64. The edge here that I have is that I think that, so again, this number is based on the full season, where I think that the Lions defensively are starting to find their way as well. Calgary leaves a lot to be desired defensively, but I think that at a 64, even in the CFL, we're talking a lot of things have to go right here.
Yeah.
So if I'm right, if the Lions defense is kind of ticking upwards, which I think they are, that 64 is too high. So I think that hopefully a Lions win, but I think it's going to be a tight field goal game either way, and a tight under as well. So I did play the under here too, as well as the Lions, and +4 is fine.
All right, Lions +4, +4.5 right now on FanDuel, -115. The under 63.5 on FanDuel, -104. Equal in the chat saying, why is So Money leaving any Lions +4 on the board? It is the bet of the year.
They're going right now. Look at it.
You're. I was just gonna say you're a man of the people. You're a man of the people. That's why. That's why you don't want to scoop it all up before the Hammer Daily.
Yeah. I wanted to wait for the show here
You're
before
the
I
best.
before I talk about the +4.
You are absolutely the best. We appreciate you doing that. And fun fact: Lions play twice today, in British Columbia and in Cincinnati. The Detroit Lions play again.
I know it'll be a tough battle. I hope that the Bengals cover that though.
Okay, so we're anti-Lions in the NFL, but pro-Lions in the CFL. Just gonna write that down in my notes. Good to know. Do you want to just skip the next game, or do you want to talk about the Red Blacks?
No. Let's talk about it. I need to take my medicine here.
All right. Red Blacks right now on FanDuel +6.5 -104. 7.5s are out there as well. Totals at 56.5. I'm gonna get Jalil's on standby right now to drop you from this call if you give out a Red Blacks bet. So just be careful.
So I won't give out the Red Blacks, although I am so tempted. That's 7.5, but I have to. It's one of those things where numbers wise it makes sense, but this team is so bad, and I think that there's a lot of issues in the locker room as well. It just coach came in, Dinwiddie thinking he's all that, and he's just already lost the room there, it looks like. So I'm not gonna have a bet on the side. There's just a couple of notes. Caleres is back, but Brady Oliveira didn't practice. He may not play. I don't think there's any reason for him to rush him back either at this point against Ottawa. So I think that again, I think the Winnipeg number is too big. I think that 6.5, 7.5 is just too big. I made this 4, right? But I'm just not going to do it. Sometimes you have to just walk away, even though you're showing an edge. And I haven't been doing that all year with Ottawa, but I will be doing it this week. And I promise you, as I walk away from this game, this will be Ottawa's first win of the season.
+255. Hey, this is. I was literally about to say that. Charles in the chat asking if the Red Blacks remind him of the 2025 Canucks.
Come on. What? Charles, man, come on, man.
We don't need to do that. What are we doing here? What are we doing? That's not nice, Charles. Come on. Anyways, it's all right. His Florida Panthers are going to be in the gutter soon. Anyways, let's move on. Talk Argos and Elks. Kind of two teams you've been high on, it feels like, in the past couple of weeks. So Elks right now at home, -3.5 on the spread, -102. It seems like it's closer to a flat 3 market wide. Totals at 62.5. Which side are you leaning towards on this one?
So I like Toronto long term, obviously. Wasn't really impressed with their game last week, although you find a way to win with 5 turnovers. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest, right? You committed 5 turnovers, not good, but you found a way to win, which is good. So bit of a sloppy game. I think that Argos, similar to the Lions, I think it's taking them some time, and I think they'll be fine long term. In this game at home with Edmonton, I think that we're going to see an Edmonton team that we've seen about a couple of weeks ago before they had to play the second half against Saskatchewan and against Montreal. So I think that we're going to see we're going to see an Elks team that is it's just what we saw a few weeks ago. So I do like the 3 Edmonton -3. I think that Toronto, while they'll be fine long term, I think they're running into a tough spot here. So Edmonton -3 right now, but long term, keep your Argos and Lions tickets.
Yeah, keep your nose to the ground with the Argos. Maybe look at some futures after this game if the Argos do lose. You like that flat 3? There's a flat 3, 117 out there. Would you be okay with a 3.5, 102?
No,
you need the flat 3.
No, well, so I mean, I would go up to -3, -120.
Okay.
Before I do the 3.5 -102.
Got it. Okay. There you go. Because I know the chat is always looking for that kind of information there with the 3.5s and the 3s being out there. Last one we want Equal in the chat quickly saying, I bet Winnipeg -6 and Ottawa +7.5. Call me no money sports.
Hey, I mean, if they win by 7, you're good,
Yeah,
bro.
you're good. You're good.
That's awesome.
There you go. But the problem is the Red Blacks are going to win outright, and then
Yeah.
you're not feeling too great about that. Chosen also saying Red Blacks, Lions, BC Lions parlay will feed families at plus 922. Rough Riders, Ticats, last game to close out the CFL slate for this weekend. Ticats at home, a plus 7.5 dogs. Rough Riders are the heavy favorites here. Wow. Totals at 56.5. Talk me through this one.
I actually like this Hamilton team a lot. I think that they showed me a lot last week. That was a tough situation going into BC, and the way that game was going, they could have easily been blown out. But I think that that's a sneaky good defense, and it's a defense that's getting better. Their quarterback play is actually better than anticipated with Bo Levi going down. I think that this number is too high. I think that we're not accounting for how Hamilton can play defensively and how Frost is. He can throw the ball. He doesn't know how to place. So I do like Hamilton. I think that number is too high. Plus 7.5 on the Ticats. It's good. I know that it moved up a little bit earlier in the week, but I'm not going to let the hook go on the 7 here.
All right, Ticats plus 7.5, Elks minus 3, up to 120.
Sorry, one more thing.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I do have a small play on the under there as well.
Okay.
Saskatchewan Hamilton. It's not a big play because or like not a regular play because I think that I need to see more from Hamilton's QB play, but I think that the way that they're playing defensively, and I think that Saskatchewan's going to get better defensively too. I think that we're going to see a couple of defenses that are ticking up here. So, and I think smaller on the under 56.5 is good as well.
So I think the sentiment is maybe totals now are on the too far point. Maybe.
I think so. And as the year goes on, as we get closer to Labor Day, especially after Labor Day, there's going to be weather and stuff like that. So I think that the game should tighten up. Weather should come. I think that we're starting to see the high point now of these totals.
All right.
At least I hope so.
All right. So a quick recap there of what we like in the CFL. We got the BC Lions plus 3.5, as well as the under 63.5 minus 110. Red Blacks, we're gonna bite our tongue, take our medicine.
Wait.
You have more?
No. BC plus 4.
Sorry, did I say plus 3.5?
Yeah.
Meant to say plus 4.5. Sorry.
No. They should be 4. We are. There were 4 when we were talking about it. So
4.5, 122 at FanDuel. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So BC and then the under was at 64. We talked about.
All right, under 64.
Yeah. These numbers have moved now. So.
Yes. That's all. Shame on you. No, I'm kidding. It's all you who's moving these numbers. Not you, but maybe the chat. I mean, that's what I'm pointing at. Red Blacks, we're holding off. Is there a buy point on the Red Blacks money line? Just out of curiosity, like
money line.
Yeah, if I'm giving you plus 350, if I'm giving you plus
give 400. Me 12 to 1, I'll take it. No, I mean yeah. What is it right now?
It's 255 on FanDuel, but there's a 290 out there. It's like really close to plus 300. Like,
okay, let's do this. Plus 291.
Okay.
And I'll consider it.
Okay, fine. Fair. There we go. Now the chat knows, and then if they do end up winning, we can say, hey, we told you the 291. We would consider it. Elks minus 3, minus 120, and then you said the Ticats plus 7.5. Minus 110. There's a minus 103 out there. Go scoop that up. And then the under 56.5, which is now moving. All right. That's it for the CFL today. So, Money, quickly, before you head out, at what point do you start preparing for the NHL offseason? We're like, how many days away from 47 days from the start of the NHL season? We're close. It's close.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is that the season starts earlier this year, too. So it's I should actually be starting now. It's kind of snuck up on me a little bit. So I think that once week 2 of the preseason is done, I think that it'll be more NHL focused. But realistically, I probably should have already started. So I'm a little behind there.
All good. Preseason? Any preseason stuff for us or no? It's already moved.
Oh yeah, I've got Green Bay -2.5. I got Bengals -6.5. I got Arizona, Vegas over 40.5, and that's it. And couple of smaller things that are that I played both sides. I played both Tennessee and San Francisco, so just back and forth a little bit there. But those three are the positions I've kept.
Bouncing back and forth, like yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Looking for.
I've got Tennessee -3 and San Fran +6.
There we go. All right, maybe feeding a little bit of steam, just razzing some services out there. Anyways, I don't even know if that's the way that you're going. Maybe you're with. I don't know. Anyways, so Lenny, appreciate you joining the show. Any final thoughts before you get out?
No. I've got a baseball play too, I think.
Oh yeah.
1 second here.
The people love plays.
Yeah, 7.5 is fine. So I got Texas, LA under 8 and under 7.5.
Texas, LA under 8 and under 7.5. All right. All right. Perfect. All right. I think that's it. You're good to go.
Okay.
Appreciate you joining the show.
Thanks, Jason.
Great stuff there, as always, from the people in my group chat. This is what we call them, is the CFL Oracle. Because we have some great time on Thursday nights betting some CFL. It's so many times like we're not turning this into a Zilbert segment, but like I hang out with my buddies Thursday night. We watch a little bit of CFL. We play volleyball together, and the fact that like he's been crushing on Thursdays, so it's like everyone's calling this guy the CFL Oracle. So it's pretty funny to see. And yeah, they're already messaging me about what he's on today. So I'll let them know that for tonight. We're taking the BC Lions +4.5 and the under 64.5. All right. Awesome stuff. Great show for a Friday Junior. Shout out to Judah for coming on. One of the best. Make sure you go follow him on Twitter at @throwthedamnball. Link is in the description. Also, make sure you go follow So Money on Twitter. Appreciate him coming on as well. Shout out to Jaleel for keeping everything nice and smooth behind the boards. Before we head out, quick reminder. I don't know if you guys know this, and I'm sure a lot of you do, but if you're new here, we have a Discord. You're going to want to join it because leading up to football season, we are messaging about everything from futures to CFL plays to tennis plays to anything under the sun. Anything is fair game in the Discord when it comes to betting. It's a great community-driven Discord where we're just constantly sharing bets, sweating games together, having a great time. Come the football season, we will be having some exclusive bets there. I know Amber's in that Discord, sharing some WNBA power rankings, which I always appreciate. Come NFL season, our biggest creators are also going to be sharing some of their bets there. So you're going to want to tune in. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And also go check out the Discord, discord.gg/hammer to join right now. Connor, this is a conversation for another day. That's a conversation for another day. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you guys in the chat. TQ, Amber, Connor, Chosen, George, Ecolt, always in all caps. Appreciate that. That's a good reminder to anyone in the chat. If you want to get my attention, all caps is the way to go. Charles Saul as well. And anyone I didn't mention, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Do us a favor, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel as well, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And that's it. Comment down below any opinions you have, whether it be on the NFL, CFL, or sports in general. If you have an NHL future, please feel free to drop it in the chat. I still can't believe FanDuel is hanging that free square. Gavin McKenna +280. Can't believe they're Rookie of the Year. Can't believe they're leaving that out there. Free square for you guys. Free square. All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This has been the Thursday, August 13th edition of the Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. We will see you guys right here tomorrow.